All right, can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2. You should be able to hear me now. Is that good? No sound still? All right, can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2. You should be able to hear me. All right, cool. Sorry guys, I'm in. Hold on, let me refresh this page. All right, let me give me a second to refresh. I am. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. I know this is short notice. Sound good? Low volume? Okay, let me turn that up. Oh, shoot, I got it all the way turned up. Let me see. How about now? Can you hear it now? Is that better? We good now? Yeah, I got it all the way cranked up, man. Sorry, me and Trish are stuck in Fayetteville Airport. You do hear me? Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to hold this thing out. You can see behind me, we are in Fayetteville Regional Airport, stuck at gate A10. What happened was we were set to depart at 9:22. Everybody got on the plane, and then they told us, okay, we need to get you off the plane. They mentioned something about a security issue. When we walked off, Trish asked the pilots, hey, what's going on? And they said there was weather in Chicago. So we talked to the desk, and she verified that there was weather in Chicago, and they decided to go ahead and bump the flight back so that they're not too backed up. And so we're going to be sitting here until 3:30. We've been sitting here since what time we get in here, babe? What, 8 o'clock? 8:15, and it's 12:03 right now, and we got our flight doesn't leave until 3:30. So here we are stuck in the airport. But how are you guys doing? Unbelievable layover. TSA pat down. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed my TSA groping for the day. It was wonderful. What ridiculous. It's so ridiculous to have to be subjected to that kind of stuff. And then when you consider the fact that it's all security theater, 95% of guns and bombs make their way onto departing flights, it's ridiculous. Well, yeah. All right, so I wanted to play this real quick. Let's check system audio. This is pretty interesting. This is from CBS, continually broadcasting shit. That's what CBS is. Might as well stand for that. Listen to this.
Tonight, the FBI crackdown continues on white supremacist groups ahead of a pro.
Can you guys hear that system audio? Thanks, Roger. Can you guys hear that system audio? Give me a one if you could hear that. Yes? Okay. Check this out. Listen to this bit of fear mongering. They can't sit there. Well, let's just go ahead and go over it.
Gun rally next Monday in Richmond, Virginia. Well, today, 3 suspected members of a neo-Nazi group were arrested in Georgia, charged with targeting left-wing activists. Jeff Pegues has more on their alleged murder plot.
Police say the 3 men arrested in Georgia had trained at a camp for the white supremacist group in the northwest part of the state. One of the men, Luke Lane, is charged with conspiracy to murder 2 members of the left-wing group Antifa. Jay Tabb is with the FBI.
We would categorize them as racially motivated violent extremists. They are a neo-Nazi.
Racially motivated, violent extremists. They really want to drum up this fear. They want to paint a picture. They want to set the tone. They want to take control of the narrative.
Group that believe in white ethnicity and power and have called for a white ethno-state in the United States.
These arrests follow the capture of 3 other members of the base yesterday in Maryland. Law enforcement sources say members of the group had talked about sparking violence at Monday's gun.
I'm going to go ahead and pause this until this announcement goes over.
Security next to the Crystal Bridges display and one next to gate A3. The airport values your opinion and would appreciate your feedback about your experience.
MK Ultra. Yeah, Thomas. Okay, here we go.
Gun rights rally in Richmond. That prompted the FBI to disrupt white supremacist groups before they could travel to the state capitol. Here in Richmond, increased security measures are being put in place.
Look what they're doing, guys. They're cordoning off the state capitol in Virginia ahead of this gun rights rally. It's a gun rights rally for freedom of Americans, and they're making it look like an open air penitentiary. It's crazy. Look at this.
Growing threat of violence, including the possible use of weaponized drones. Oren Siegel is with the Anti-Defamation
League is out there keeping abreast of the situation in Virginia. The Enemies of the United States, ADL.
League, which has been tracking the threats.
For white supremacists and racists who believe that a race war has to start now, they're trying to leverage this moment. And so they are recommending that people show up.
By 2035 to Dallas Fort Worth.
I'm going to wait till this announcement goes over again.
Final boarding call for American Airlines Flight 2035 to Dallas Fort Worth through
That's
gate
loud.
A2.
All right, here we go.
Start a battle.
Wow, Jeff joins us now, and law enforcement has already made about half a dozen arrests. How concerned is
Look at the fencing behind there, guys, barring the people from going into the Capitol right there.
the FBI about this neo-Nazi group?
Well, they are concerned and fanning out across the country. In fact, late today, we learned of another arrest, this time in Wisconsin, also tied to the group The Base, a man who allegedly vandalized a synagogue. And so agents are going to be on high alert throughout the weekend. Meanwhile, President Trump weighed in on Monday's rally. He says that the Second Amendment is under attack and Democrats are to blame. Nora.
Well, the Second Amendment is under attack, but it's not just the Democrats that are to blame. Any political parasite who wants to put in place any infringement law is anti-Second Amendment. We talked about that last night on the live stream.
All right, Jeff, thank you.
All right, so here's the other news story on this Virginia event. When they're talking about Virginia, they're not out there going, we have a group of Americans out there who are wanting to fight for our rights, Americans. Let's get behind them. No, they're out there going, oh my God, this is going to be so dangerous. We got violent extremism. We have a white supremacist. And they're trying to link all these negatives in with the Virginia event. It's very interesting.
Arrest of 3 alleged white supremacists is raising alarms ahead of a gun rights rally in Richmond, Virginia. The state's governor says there is credible intelligence of potential violence at Monday's event. Jeff Begaze is.
And we know what those credible threats are. Ralph Northam has deemed the credible threat as you and me, gun owners, lovers of America, lovers of freedom. Those are the credible threats because those are the people that Ralph Northam is wanting to disarm.
In Richmond, outside of the Capitol. Jeff, who are these men?
Well, good morning here at the Capitol. You can see these temporary fences here behind me in place. They've been put in place for crowd control on Monday, a security measure just in case. The arrest of the 3 men, Michelle, is really feeding this narrative that there could be violence here on Monday. In fact, investigators say the 3 men were targeting the event as a way of spreading their hate-filled ideology.
By the way, the hate-filled ideology came from Ralph Northam's office. The hate-filled ideology is, hey, we're going to disarm you because we're the government. We want to keep you safe. How are we going to keep you safe? Oh, by taking away your personal protection device. That's the hate. The hate that's, if there's hate coming out of anybody, it's hate coming out of the governor's office in Virginia.
Images presented in court Thursday paint a picture of a group preparing for battle. Long guns and some appearing to wear
They really want to put this deep into your minds that, oh my God, there's going to be a battle. Stay away from Virginia. This is going to be horrible. Oh my God, just drumming up the fear. You're going to be hurt. It's horrible.
fatigues. One of the men, Patrick Matthews, is a Canadian Army veteran who is said to be an explosives expert. American Brian Lemley Jr. is an Army veteran who served in Iraq. The third suspect is American William Bilbrough. The men are alleged
Why are they putting cartoon faces? What's up with that?
members of the Base, a neo-Nazi group that advocates violence against minorities while rallying around slogans like Save Your Race. Investigators allege the men had built a functioning assault rifle and had recently bought more than 1,500 rounds of ammunition.
What is that? Built a functioning assault rifle, approximately 15. What is that supposed to scare somebody? What's up with that?
Attorney Robert Bonsib represents Bilbrough.
I was just appointed to represent this fine young man. He's a 19-year-old young man with no prior record.
The arrest only
I'm going to let this announcement pass again.
All ticketed and confirmed
I must be
passengers should be on
right
way
under the
at
speaker, of course.
departure. Final call.
Again, if you're joining us late, me and Trish are stuck at Fayetteville Regional Airport until 3:30 p.m.
reinforce concerns.
That's 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Now notice the footage that they're putting here. Footage from Charlottesville, as though they're going to try to overlay that on and insert that into the Richmond, Virginia event.
Monday's rally could be a repeat of what happened in Charlottesville in
Monday's rally could be a repeat. They're just shoving it into your minds, into the psychology of the masses.
2017 unless officials intervene. Governor Ralph Northam's temporary ban on all weapons near Capitol grounds withstood a legal challenge on Thursday. Monday's rally is...
They may have stood a legal challenge, but they failed on the Second Amendment challenge. Second Amendment is clear, shall not be infringed. What did Northam do? He infringed. It falls short of the Second Amendment. It is to be rejected.
Is related to new gun reforms proposed in Virginia's legislature, now controlled by Democrats for the first time in more than 2 decades, that include universal background checks and a once-a-month limit on handgun purchases. Are you concerned that it could escalate into something that you didn't expect?
It's always possible that that could happen.
Rally organizer Philip Van Cleve refuses to call off the event over the arrests.
Now, you notice that Philip Van Cleve refuses to call off the event. Mainstream media wants this event called off. It's an underhanded way. They're going around. They're injecting little innuendos. They want this event called off. They want to scare people away from this event, showing this violence from the Charlottesville riots, saying, "Hey, Van Cleve isn't calling off this event. He really should, man. This looks dangerous. Looks like people are going to get hurt."
Mr. Hicks, your flight to Dallas has boarded and is
Mr.
preparing for
Hicks?
on-time departure. Please make your way to gate A2. The doors are closing.
Let them deter
Sounds like Roger Hicks is about to miss his flight.
us or slow us down. We're trying to protect rights here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back on that.
Over the arrests.
We will not let them deter us or slow us down. We're trying to protect rights here.
Yeah, that's true. That's what people are going for. They're trying to protect individual rights. They're standing up saying, "Hey, enough is enough. Screw you guys."
In court, prosecutors said that one of the men talked about traveling to Ukraine to fight and compared the base to Al-Qaeda. Investigators also say the Canadian man who was arrested was here in this country illegally. Tony.
See what happens Monday. Jeff, thank you very much.
See what happens Monday, but what we're trying to tell you is there's going to be nothing but violence and mayhem, and you really need to steer clear of that. So what do you guys think? Oh, that's going fast. I'm catching a cold. Great time to do that. The public falls for this nonsense, says ignorant plebe. Nathan Taylor says, "Hey, Brian, have you seen the warning posted by Senator Amanda Chase? Guns and Gadgets just posted a video on it." No, can one of the mods put that in the box there? Oh, did you, babe? Trish said she read it. Yeah, if somebody could post that, we'll take a look at it. Matter of fact, if you want to post the Guns and Gadgets video, if you guys are up for it, we'll see what Jared has to say about it. I have not seen it, to answer your question. Let's see who else. Sorry guys, I'm really limited here. I don't have two screens, so I can't split it, and it's super inefficient. I don't have my mouse out. I'm trying to go by the laptop pad. So if you guys have that, matter of fact, let me just go to Guns and Gadgets. Jared does a good job covering this stuff. I got a real slow connection. Please bear with me. So you said it was the last video? Let's see. Mobile hotspot's not very fast. Let's see. Second Amendment Preservation Act. 2 warnings from Virginia VCDL Lobby Day. If you're not subscribed to Guns and Gadgets, check it out. Maybe if somebody can put the link in the chat box. All right, come on, ad. Skip. There's a lot of things going on this weekend. There's the Women's March is happening. I mean, the Women's March is happening in LA, and there's a March for Life in Washington, D.C. this weekend. Uh-oh, what's going on?
News, and when I mean your source, this is where you're going to find it. Hit that button. Hit that subscribe. Her name is Amanda Chase. I'm going to read this to you. I'll put it up on the screen as well. But she's in the know. She's in the building. And she's giving a warning out to those who are going there on Monday. And I think you all should just listen and maybe take some heed in what she's saying. Sadly, I'm posting this knowing that the governor of Virginia has declared a state of emergency in our state. I want you to be aware of how we are being set up. Does the Patriot Act ring a bell? Does the National Defense Authorization Act ring a bell? If people show up wearing any kind of uniform, patch, or other symbol on their clothing signifying they belong to a militia or something goes wrong, you could and will be held as a domestic terrorist. If anyone steps out of line, all it takes is one person. It may even be a government plant. If that plant does anything to disrupt the rally, you could and will be arrested as a domestic terrorist. The governor, using the media, has already set the stage for this to happen. He has already laid the groundwork to make the entire movement look like insurrection. It will be used to put the rest of the nation on notice of what will happen to you if you resist. They have used the Southern Poverty Law Center over the last 15 years to lay the groundwork. They have labeled us as potential domestic terrorists for a long time now. Anyone who has ever related to the Three Percenters, a militia, or just belonged to any patriot group, the groundwork has been laid to brand you as a domestic terrorist. They've gone out of their way since the Obama years to ensure they had us labeled. But it didn't start with Obama. It started with the Patriot Act under the Bush administration. We are being played by a well-oiled machine. These things have been in the works for many years. They are kicking things into high gear. Military veterans were and are even listed as potential domestic terrorists. We were told not once, but several times by the current president, it's not me they're after, it's you, the American people. Their actions over the last 3 years have shown you he was right. They are coming after us full speed ahead, and they aren't even trying to hide it anymore. Sic semper tyrannis, keep your head on a swivel, and know what's going on around you at all times at Lobby Day, January 20th, 2020. Everyone be safe out there. Thus always to tyrants. So that's State Senator Amanda Chase out of Virginia. I didn't know much about her until yesterday when she put up the video that I posted on Facebook. Check out the Guns and Gadgets Facebook page, join there. Join everything I have because I put out different bits of news everywhere. So if it's not something like video production worthy, it'll go on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So please help me build those areas of communication as well, because when one goes down, the others must flourish. But she put out a video yesterday showing the grounds and explaining how the governor has everything set up in corrals and where those people showing up who still would have their firearms, where they want them to be, you know, way off in the back and on the streets, not on the grounds. Next, I want to talk about the alert that was put out by VCDL, the Virginia Citizens Defense League, and they put this out about 12:30 in the morning over here on the East Coast this morning, really early this morning. And it addresses what's going on right now with the gun ban that the governor has gotten away with illegally. And it also, they're asking, let me read it. I'll put it up on the screen. And again, make of it what you will. This is a request from the people organizing this. Remember, this started as a lobby day where they want people to go into the Capitol, into the legislative area, and speak to their legislators. So they still want that to happen. And in order for that to happen, this is what they're saying. Important request. We need 10,000 patriots to fill the Capitol grounds for Monday's rally. Unfortunately, the Virginia Supreme Court just said they did not have enough information on the stay denied by the lower court to issue their own stay. So the governor's illegal gun ban on Capitol grounds is going to stand for this event. Here's what we need to do on Monday to make the rally a success. And here are the details. Number one, VCDL needs at least 10,000 members and gun owners to commit to taking one for the team by entering the Capitol grounds unarmed around 10 a.m. and being in place for the rally by 10:45 a.m. Those who were lobbying will already be unarmed, so we urge them to be part of the 10,000 inside the fencing. Note, knives with folding metal blades less than 3 inches are permitted in both the General Assembly and on the Capitol grounds. And number two, for every one gun owner on the Capitol grounds, we need another 2 to 5 people outside the Capitol grounds fence on 9th Street. Those doing so...
Sorry, guys, I didn't realize I was muted. What do you think about that comment from VCDL to take one for the team? Right here it says VCDL need... Let me wait till this announcement goes over. It's kind of mayhem over here. Actually, it's the opposite of mayhem. There's almost nobody here. They'll be packing here in a couple hours like sardines. Sorry, dude. Sorry about that. All right, so what do you think about VCDL needs at least 10,000 members / gun owners to commit to taking one for the team by entering the Capitol grounds unarmed around 10 a.m. and being in place for the rally by 10:45 a.m. What do you think about that take one for the team and disarm statement? Is there sound now? Sounds good? Okay, cool. Let me hold this out. I'm really winging it here in this airport, guys. Go back 45 seconds. Okay. Is that no trust the plan? What do you think what do you think about this? VCDL needs at least 10,000 members, gun owners to commit to taking one for the team. In other words, entering the Capitol grounds unarmed. Disarm yourself, come in, be part of the 10,000, take one for the team. It just sounds so antithetical to individual liberties. Sounds antithetical to the very reason you're there having a rally. I mean, if you're going to have a rally for individual rights, specifically gun rights, why would you disarm? Mark says, I'm on my team. Operator says, better bring IR torches to blind cameras. I don't have to think about the take one for the team thing. All right, let me finish this.
Can be legally armed. So he's asking for 10,000 inside and as many as 50,000 or more outside as a show of force, as a show of perseverance, as a show of solidarity, and to show that we're serious. If you can commit to being one of our needed 10,000 unarmed members inside the fence, please help us by asking several of your family and friends to be your designated armed escort to the gates and to stand outside the fence area to watch us over. Why? We are separating our responsibilities. In this otherwise untenable and unconstitutional situation foisted on gun owners by Northam, gun owners standing both inside and outside of the fence ensure that the Capitol grounds and the